Alright, we're live. Hope the noise is not too annoying. I'm trying this Gemini audio generations thing. It's pretty cool. I can select the style. So right now it's like funk, chiptune, and neo soul. It's a bit too repetitive. Let's try to tone down a bit on the chiptune and add some. Let's see, some bossa nova. All right, yeah, this is cool. Okay. Hey, what happened? Oh. Alright, let's clean up a few things. Posting the notification. Starting the Twitch stream. And bada boom. I think we're ready. Just need to update the title. So give me the title, and that's going to be fly camera. Fly camera. Okay. Ready to go. So what's up? What's up, everyone? This little stream, I want to play around with the camera. So what is the state right now? I'm gonna quickly build and see where we are at. I've cleaned up a bit of the code. So now the terrain is generated, we can navigate. And potentially this is already a flight camera, but we want more. And a bit of smoothness probably. I don't like the way it feels like snappy, especially on the pitch. This is quite simple to fix. Just need to go to the main on the Windows side. Maybe not. Actually, let me do it on the app directly. And I'm gonna keep the Windows entry point on the side. So on mouse move, we want the delta position to be smoothed. And the multiplier right now is just 1. So what if I make it 0.5? Or even 0.25? Yeah, that's pretty smooth already, and it can't really do much. It can do a lot of movement within the same, like without touching the borders of the screen. I can even do a full 360. Let me try to find point. So yeah, I can easily do a full 360, and if I move quickly, yeah. I would call this fine. So that's a very fine value. Also want to remove these loggings. I don't need to know for every time. It's gonna pollute the console. All right. Okay, I'll call that working. And the next stage is getting it to work in VR. So to do that, you need to first activate the runtime. Activate simulator. Since I don't have any headset attached, I do have the MetaQuest, but I don't want to go through the MetaQuest link, and I also don't want to wear the headset on and off. So this is a pretty good trade-off. And I can move, but the way it does it right now is through the keyboard and mouse. I wonder if there's a way to disable that. It would indeed be much better. Why do I hear notifications, but I don't know where it comes from? Whatever. Hey, where's the music? Connection error, please restart. Okay. So there is indeed no way to disable that. Well, of course, keyboard and mouse are connected. I'll be worried otherwise. Active inputs. Okay. This seems to be doing the job. Regular D-pad up down cycle. Movement speed, left input. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna try to connect my joypad or gamepad. I'm running out of cables. And bada boom. Okay, so this is working. And it's not turning around, so that means that the input is not active. And it's going backwards. So that is also good, I would say. Not like the best, but it's good in the way that it's not picking the headset. Yeah, right now it's controlling the headset through the knobs, through the thumbsticks, but I can disable that and it's still moving. Okay, now it's moving faster because it's doubling down on the input. This is back. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough, I would say. So with my implementation up, it goes backwards, but when I enable this, it goes the right direction. So I did something wrong. So I need to flip the y-axis, but also, what happens on a cross-platform way? So I wonder what happens when I import this to the Quest. There's only one way to find out. Let's run it on not the Samsung, the Quest. Hope this is not going to mess up with the camera. Go with it. Okay, I'm gonna put this over there because I also need to start the mirroring. So the first thing that I need to do is to connect the gamepad that is running. It should pick it up soon. Okay, I got the gamepad. This is working correctly, so I wonder what is different. So this forward is going. No, it's not going forward. So forward is not going forward. This is where the matrices madness begin. So what's happening is that on the Android, side, we have paddle boat that's generating the events. And these are correctly going through the app. But at the app level, in XR mode, so there is a bit of a setup to do. Take window and take XR mode. So we get the gamepad. Wait, where is it processing the gamepad? Update. Where is this even called? Is it not called at all? Oh, that's weird. It must be cold, otherwise. Okay, yeah, it is cold. Otherwise, it wouldn't even work. So we update flying camera, but we are not updating the right thumbstick, which is the one that provides the the camera rotation. And then we have the order of the application. So the camera position, the camera rotation, which comes from flying camera. Okay, so we got the flying camera, we got the rotation, we move the camera, and that is fine. Then we apply the rotation. That seems to be fine. And then we apply the view. But that's somehow it's not working. Well, the forward is not working because the forward is based on the camera rotation only. So when we then transform the camera further, the forward remains our synthetic camera rotation rather than the eye the eye transformation. So I would say that update flying camera requires the computed global view camera or something, and then it returns a position. Yeah, let's call it flying camera position, and it's gonna return a vec3 with the new position, or maybe it doesn't return anything. That could be an option. While update flying camera angles, it computes the angle, and then maybe it returns this guy. Yeah. So this one returns. It returns the new computed flying camera, the gamepad view. So after we have the gamepad view, we transform it into the global headset view, and then we pass it back to this guy again as a const mat reference, which is the view. This is going to be based on one of the eyes, and it returns the camera position. But the camera position is available anyway, so there's not even need to return it. I'm gonna keep it void then. Yeah, this just gonna be void. Cool. At this point, we want to compute the camera rotation with the update camera rotation. Hey, what's wrong? Why is it not writing? Update camera angles, and we get the camera rotation. Then we update flying camera position, and again we pass the delta, the gamepad, and the camera rotation. Once we have all of those, we can move on to the actual transformation. And that seems to be all we need. No, actually, the camera rotation and one of the views. I almost forgot, otherwise it's just the same. And this should be also good for the windowed mode, which I'm gonna test right away. Dude, come on. Why does it keep stopping? I need more of a bossa nova. With a bit of arpeggio. Let's do this. Okay, so back to the gamepad. I'm gonna connect it to the PC again. And bada boom. We're moving a bit too fast. And it is going backwards. Okay, that's fine. Left and right. And then we can rotate. It's no, it's the rotation is bad. Yeah. Whoa. That is. So I'm rotating. I feel like I'm rotating around something. And that's. I'm rotating around the headset. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm rotating around the headset. If I move it more. Rotation. Woo, that is absurd. Yeah, that is pretty bad. Oh, no, that is not what I was expecting. Okay, let's think about this. So as long as I don't touch the headset, everything is working correctly. So that means this, as long as this is identity, then everything is working, which means that I'm just using the camera rotation. And that is fine. Okay, so I need to break down. Yeah, I need to break this guy down into position and rotation. That should have been available anyway. So this isn't very good to have like this. It should be split. So the position and the rotation of the headset should not be related to the view. Yeah, that is very simple. And where do I get this info? So this info comes from the XR. And especially when I create the frame context, which is the thing that holds the data that gets passed to the renderer in the call to the presentation. I'm gonna start from the present. Okay, so we are in the present function, and there should be a frame context creation. Okay, so it really only has the view, pose, and it doesn't really have a headset position. That is somehow interesting. But I do have the position and the quaternion, and I should keep them as they are. So these will be kept there as easy to use. But at the same time, I also want to define like a vec3, which is the HMD position, which is not the can I just I wonder if the orientation of the two eyes will be the same. They are quaternion. They just offset. So is the rotation the same? Well, technically they can be not the same, especially if you have converging eyes technology, but current HMDs only have parallel eyes. So let me quick check if in OpenXR can I get the HMD position rather than the eye. Okay, there is a central reference point. Reference type local. Head space. Your head pose. Oh, user head. Okay. Let's check this. When I'm creating the paths or the actions, whatever how they're called. Create action space, that's the hand space, and where is the HMD? Oh wait, how are the eyes being computed anyway? I don't remember. So I'm trying to get back to the presentation. I always get lost. So the presentation's grabbing from the views. And the views is coming from, okay, yeah, it is queried differently. So it's not really the same thing. Instead, the HMD position comes from the input system. Okay. So let's see, what do we have? Space info. Create action space. Getting distracted by notifications. Let's see. So create action space, action pose, and hand. I wonder if I can use. So action is creating a space. The action. The pose is the identity. That's all correct. And at each frame, I'm gonna grab the head. HMD position, if it's valid. Okay, it just behaves like the hands at this point. hand space, hands path, and just closes them. So there's going to be an XR path, which is the head path, which is XR null handle, okay, and the XR pose, head pose, which is identity, okay. So once I have that, I can just fill it with whatever I need. So head, head path, not hand. What is the hand up? Oh dear. Hand up. That's weird. 3 hands. That's gonna be... Wait, what was it? Head, user, head. Okay, let's try that. User, head. What the? Dude, head left. And where's the space? Did I say pose instead of space? Head and space. Oh, do I need space? Oh, maybe. XR space. And no. Add space. And now I would need an autocomplete, please. Oh, come on. Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong with that? Path. Oh, it's not a handle. It's a path. Lucky there is... It's strongly typed and won't get messed up by AI. So head space is gonna be create action, action pose. Wait, what is the action pose? Action pose, pose input on the path, action. Damn it! I need an action which is. This is not pose. This is hand. Hand pose. So I need an action for the head. Well, maybe I should group things by type. So the head, and then the head space, and then... Oh wait, I do have the head action. No, that's not the head action. Okay, I didn't create the head action. So XR action, head action, okay. And I need to create it somewhere. So we have the head. head pose. Which gets the head path. And creates a pose, okay. Action pose, no, head action. And the head action is bound to the head, oh boy, wait. The head path, but it's wrong. Wait, the create action, hands path. Okay, I need an array. Can I do like this? Okay, good. No, it's not good. Can I pass it by reference? No, cannot pass it by reference. How do we create a span from a single object? Stood span create action. Yeah, span or a single object? Why not? Okay, I know the trick. Wait, XR pose, head pose. No, head pose is just one. And that's gonna be identity. So head pose is just one. And of course, I cannot make it span. Can I make a span like this? This is annoying. So the head path, head path. Okay, I forgot the head path. So we get the head path, which is 1. Okay, this is gonna remove some of the hassle, and that should make it possible. Okay, to be transformed into a span of 1. Yeah, that's a dirty arc, no? Anyway. So the next step is the it's the space. So we have the space. We have the action, we have the path. Now the next step is to query for this, just like with the hands. That happens roughly here. Okay, so sync pose. This is syncing through the hands, and the same thing will happen for the head. So the pose is gonna be the action, which is the head action, and the path is the head path, 0, and the space is the head space. This is just one object, and the time is the time, predicted time. And this is gonna change the head pose, finally. Maybe. Cool. We should have the head pose now. And the last thing to do is to convert the head pose into a usable GLM thing. So we got the head position and a GLM quad for the head quaternion. And we are going to stack those. Did I put them at the end? Yeah, at the end. I'm gonna stack those in here. So the head pose will be just like here, this stuff, roughly like that, but instead of the view, I'm gonna grab no, wait, actually, yeah, that shouldn't happen here, should it? No, actually, yeah, I'm doing sync pose. The head position, maybe it should come from what? Alright, I don't have yet a way to read the touch controllers. No, I haven't done any of that yet. So I will just stick it in here. So the head position is going to be the translation of the vector. No, actually, I don't want it to be a matrix. So that's going to be a vec3 of the head pose dot position, which is a vec3. Then I'm gonna grab the quaternion and from in the same way and boom, this is it. This is all the OpenXR that I needed to do, and that should work across windowed mode as well. Even though for the windowed mode, which unfortunately still lives in the VK module, the frame context, there is no head definition. So should I clear those? So the head position is gonna be an empty vec3, a 0 vec3. And the head quaternion, this should be an identity quaternion. Is it? Let's just do an identity for a GLM quad. Okay. Just to be safe. And where does identity leave? GTC probably. Cool, that should be all I need to have the hands. The head, not the hand. So once I have the head, here from the frame, I don't need to do any fancy stuff. So the camera position will use so the rotation is only dependent on the head rotation. Head quaternion. Will it multiply? No, it doesn't multiply. So this is going to be quadcast. What? GLM quadcast? Wait, what happened? Frame quadcast, okay. Wait, what? What's wrong now? Converts to pure rotation matrix. That's fine. So what is wrong? Create global function quadcast. So it doesn't exist, it must be in GTX or GTC. Yeah, it's no viable function. What? So let's see, const glm mat. Oh, it's a mat 3, but I want a mat 4. Head rotation, which still doesn't work. So this is a quaternion, right? Quadcast generates, oh no, wait, matcast. Mat 4 cast, okay. This makes much more sense. And then we have the head rotation. Will this work? No, the music. Let's do some funk. Okay, I like this. More funk. Did I make a mistake? Okay, yes, of course. This needs to be initialized like this. And XR path. That should be it. XR is taking quite some time to generate. It's a big file. Cool. So the rotation is still messed up, but we are going back and forth. That's following the camera, whatever it is. Oh, that is horrible. So back to the computation. of the final metrics. Okay, we probably need this to be broken down as well. We first have all the translations. That's pretty simple. No, that's not very simple. Let me think about it. Okay, so I think we also need the components from the eyes. Yeah, the eyes component need to be passed over to here, because we want to apply the transformations in a way that it's broken into rotation and translation. Or what we have to do is to move the local space. Yeah, that is also viable. So moving the local space rather than doing all this computation. What does moving the local space mean? Or staying in the center and moving the world. That's also an option. And maybe moving the world is a better way to go. Well, changing this the local space, maybe it's even easier. So XR space, but XR space is an object, so how do I change that? No, that's no, is it XR space? Where is the identity used? Okay, create pose action space for the hands and also for the head. But this is not moving the rest of the reference. So yeah, that's not a great idea. So maybe I should move the world. Should probably move the world. Yeah, rather than messing around with all of these transformations. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to go too far from the center of the world, which is where most of the precision is anyway. The numerical precision. So instead, let's leave this as it is. So the frame won't be changed, and I'm gonna keep just the frame, so to make it easier. We computed the position of the world. But what about the rotation, right? So we move the world, but we also want to offset the camera rotation. Well, that we can do with just rotation, which is awful, but after we've done with the transformation, then we rotate extra. Now first we rotate and then we let's see. So first we rotate the world. Will that work? Let's see that. Have the transformation, just the rotation would apply. Okay, so this is driving. No. So this is driving the camera, and then we add. Oh, what? This is not very good. Yeah, that's definitely not super good. Let's go back to the splitting. So in the frame context, we also want, but only the views. Back 3 view position. And vec, what is a quaternion? Quad view quad. And I'm gonna put these right at the presentation. So frame dot view and frame dot view position is equal to camera translation. No, not really. So I only want the raw values. Back 3. Wait, what's... I'm forgetting one closing. Okay. Now that should make it through. Now back to the rendering. View. You want the frame dot view position 0 and frame dot view position 1 And then the view rotation, which is a quaternion. And we gotta do a GLM mat for cast. Which is a GTC. Nope. Quad 1. And then the rotations. Is this gonna work? So we have the positions, then we apply the camera rotation. The camera rotation. Camera rotation is only rotation. Yeah. Head rotation. Head rotation is where we are pointing at. Okay. It is nope, nope, nope. That's not supposed to do like oh no, wait. Need to remove. Okay, that's not the way it should behave. And this is also, yeah, that's completely wrong. This is totally bonkers. Okay. Completely broken. Maybe I should test it on the headset. Yeah, let's try on the headset. Okay, so this is correct, left, right, okay. But the D-pad rotation is not doing anything. Did I remove it? No, it's still there. The D-pad rotation is not doing anything. And so what if I rotate the headset? Okay, it's not going forward as I was expecting. So wait, still deploying it. Nice. So that was the old version. Okay, this is also not going the direction I wanted. What is wrong? It could be that this is empty. Yeah, it could well be that this guy is empty. Can I attach from here? Where's the debug? Run, attach to process. Cannot run debugger. Debugger is not loaded yet. What? Attach the GDB. Whatever. The debugger is not loaded. Weird. Is there any OpenXR warning? No, everything looks good. So rather than using the head quaternion. I'm gonna use the view quaternion. What's wrong? Oh yeah, view quaternion. I'm gonna pick the left eye, and let's see. This is running, right? Okay. Okay, going forward. Okay, it's going forward. So it was just some weirdness. So the head is actually not getting anything. I wonder if GPT just made that up. Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he just made that up. Let's see, what did it call it? User head? Does it even exist? Head input pose. Okay. That could be it. Head input aim pose. Head input aim pose. Meta quest. OpenXR. So that should be a page where it describes all the different paths that one can use. OpenXR input, creating action, grip. Okay, so we have those inputs. But nothing about the head. Why is there not a list? How can I even like enumerate? Let's see if this dude can get something right. How can I enumerate input paths? The paths aren't discovered dynamically, they're predefined. Direction profile. So how do I find the profile? Input paths, okay. As soon as it hasn't finished yet. And we're back. Encoder overload. Unstable. Okay. Are we back? Alright, yeah, whoa. That was big. So just loading the OpenXR specification froze my whole PC. And it didn't even bring me to the input paths that I wanted. Input paths. Input. So where are the input paths? To go to the input paths. So there is no input paths, okay. So where do I find the profiles? Suggestion, profiles, head. See if there is user head, okay. Reserved semantics. Oh, gamepad. Could I just use OpenXR for the gamepad? Yeah. Identifier location component, okay. Standard pauses. Hand right. Hand left. Head. Okay, so we get the hand left, which is the path, okay. But the bindings. I didn't do the bindings. Okay. That's what I forgot. Right. So the action is action pose. Could I use the action pose? Hands path. Okay, I'm starting to see. So instead of hands paths, let's say these are pose paths. Okay, pose path. And I'm going back to the usage here. And instead of hands path, they're going to be not path, pose path. And in the pose path, I also want the head. Pose path number 3, which doesn't exist. I'll need to define it. So we need 3 poses. Okay. Then, this isn't gonna work though. No. Roll back. So if I do like that, then it's gonna bind the vibration to the head, which would be fun, but I don't think it's possible. Instead, type pose, action pose. Okay, I did the same with the head. Okay, so there is everything I need. And actually, I just have to put it in the bindings. So the pose, the action is the head action, and it's gonna pick head input aim pose hands path. Oh wait, did I forget to rename? Hand path. Okay. Was it hand? Hands. It was hands. So it was hands. And here it's gonna be hands again. And everything else is already fine. Well, that should be it, right? That's going to be the head position or the head quaternion. And it should work as before. This is taking longer than expected. Why did it jump to GPU level 4? Should try to keep a GPU level of a low profile. Okay. We have the back and forth. Then if I rotate it, why is it rotating? Is this isn't right, is it? Feels, oh, this feels completely wrong. Whoa, that is awful. That feels completely wrong. And why is that? Did I forget anything? Like translate. View. Oh, the view is the inverse. Okay, I have to invert it. Why do I have to invert it? Oh, because that's the pose. Okay, that's the pose. That makes sense. Yeah, that's the pose, it's not the view. The head quaternion. Oh, that's that is the position and the rotation. So this needs to be inverted. So this needs to be inverted. And this also needs to be inverted. Because otherwise that's just the rotation of the headset rather than the view. And that's a lot of multiplications. Let's do a test drive. Okay, it is moving not correctly. So the forward isn't working anymore. As if it's not reading anything from the pose. I'm gonna need to debug this. So moving to the app, and here in the rendering, let me put a breakpoint. Is the rendering even correct? It is. This is wrong. Yeah, the rendering itself is not great. Yeah, the rendering is wrong. Rendering itself is wrong. Why is it? Because the position is the position, and then the quaternion is the quaternion, which is okay. And here we do an inverse of these two. But that inverse is not happening here. And also, yeah, first rotation and then translation. So again, this is pretty wrong. I'm gonna try to attach just to see if the head pose is working. That would be already a good achievement. So the head quaternion, frame, view quaternion, head position is 0, 0, 0. That can't be. And the quaternion is 1. Okay, so the head is not even being processed correctly. That can only be because it's not well defined. Did I forget something in the binding? So head, input, aim, head action. Head action, we have the head path. Guess I will try to make it work. From here and debug what's going on. Head path, okay, so we have head path. Head pose to the head path, okay. So let's go inside. We create an action of that type. Action name, which is head pose, okay. The action type is input pose, and the sub action is the head, okay. And that's created. Cool, we have an action. that depends. Okay, it doesn't have sub actions. Okay. So no need for sub actions. Create action. Create action. Okay, the type sub actions. No, extra action type. Action type. And then sub actions. Trying to figure out what is the head pose. This is a path. Is this even correct? Sub actions as a path. XR path. Okay, this is a path. Sub actions. Why do you call it sub actions? Then we have the head action and the head path. And we create an action, a head space. Let's go and do this. Action, the hand or the head, in this case. We create it and we have a space, the head space. Head action, create a path, head input aim pose. Everything seems to be alright so far. Let's see if the binding is actually succeeding. It's not succeeding. That's why. Path unsupported. Head input aim pose. Oh wait, does it have input in it? Head location component. Does it have input? Let's go and check that. So hand as there was something in here. Semantic for head pose. Head input pose. Head input aim pose. Head input aim pose. So is that correct or not? Blender. Head input pose. User head pose. Well, let's try head input pose. So the problem is here. Although that doesn't fix all the problems, at least we can say fixed one problem. And that was wrong. Okay. So still wrong. Error, path unsupported. Is there any more info? No. Path unsupported. That's not great. User head input pose. Why is it so difficult? User head pose is not a thing, isn't it? So there's actually no such thing. Still not that. So there is a head. Why is it why is it so hard to get it? There is a head. Head control often from a device such as head-mounted display. The reason about user's head C space time. I just want to get the pose. Standard identifier. So location, input identifier. User hand left, user hand right. Then what? Let's see here. HTC, okay. Valid for user path. Is it just head? No, it can't be just head. HTC Vive, Google Daydream. Oh, okay, interaction profiles. Chronos simple controller. And there's no head. So the Daydream, HTC, NVIDIA, Xbox controller profile. Oculus Go, Oculus Touch controller profile. Suggest profile, Oculus Touch controllers profile. So valid for those paths is anyone going to provide the head? Each path provide one of this. Okay, so there's no profile that supports head. Okay. Well, that was a bummer. No profile supports head. Okay, so this was a waste of time. So I'm gonna get rid of this waste. As there's nothing like this. And instead, just keep using the view position from one of the eye. The view rotation, actually. Oh, wait. There's actually some errors happening here. Handle invalid. Okay. So that's because I removed some bits. Well, I guess that's it for today. Not very useful. But it's good to learn something new. We've learned that OpenXR doesn't provide head input.